In the book of Judges in the Old Testament, the story of Samson is depicted. Samson is famous as the judge who saved Israel. Let's now explore the story of Samson step by step.
During a time when there was no king in Israel, the people suffered under the Philistine rule for 40 years. In the tribe of Dan in Israel, there lived a man named Manoah, and he and his wife were childless. One day, an angel appeared to Manoah's wife and informed her that she would bear a child. When the angel appeared to his wife, Manoah was not present. The woman tells Manoah, "A man of God came to me and announced that I would conceive and bear a child." However, he did not disclose where he came from or where he was going. The angel instructed her not to cut the child's hair, for he would grow up to save Israel. The angel also appeared to Manoah, instructing him to ensure that his wife followed the guidelines. Manoah asks, "Are you the one who spoke to my wife recently?" The angel of the Lord replies, "Yes, I am." Manoah inquires, "Will what you have said truly come to pass?" The angel of the Lord responds, "Pay attention to what I told her. You must not drink wine or strong drink, and you must keep yourself pure." When Manoah asks, "What is your name?" the angel of the Lord says, "Why do you ask for my name? It is wonderful." Filled with awe, Manoah offered a sacrifice, and the angel ascended to heaven along with the flames.
Thus, Samson was born, and his mother adhered to the angel's instructions regarding his hair. As he grew, Samson became an adult. Let's see what happened when Samson reached adulthood.
While in the Philistine territory, Samson saw a beautiful woman whom he desired to marry. However, his parents opposed marrying a Philistine woman. The father and mother say, "Do not take a Philistine woman who has not undergone circumcision as your wife. There are many daughters in Israel, choose one from among them." Samson replies, "No, I want that woman as my wife. I like her, and I won't heed what you say." As Samson was on his way to Philistine land, a lion attacked him, but Samson effortlessly tore the lion apart. Samson did not tell anyone about the incident with the lion. Sometime later, as Samson walked the same path, he found honey in the carcass of the lion. Eating the honey, he reached Philistine territory without revealing the source of the honey.
The wedding ceremony of Samson has begun.
Samson took a liking to a Philistine woman and decided to marry her. There were 30 guests at the banquet. During his wedding, Samson proposed a riddle to the Philistines, betting 30 sets of garments. Samson's quiz was, something to eat came out from something that consumes, and something sweet came out from something strong. What is this referring to? Unable to solve the riddle, the Philistines persuaded Samson's wife to extract the answer. For several days, the woman was unable to extract the answer from Samson. On the fourth day, she cried and pleaded, saying, "Please tell me the answer to the riddle, or else your father's house will be set on fire." However, Samson did not provide the answer. For 7 days of the feast, she couldn't get the answer, but on the 7th day, she revealed it. The riddle was, what is sweeter than honey? What is stronger than a young lion? The wife immediately reports the answer to the Philistines. Angry at losing the bet, Samson slew 30 men and gave their garments to the Philistines. These 30 men were residents of an unrelated land, and Samson stripped them of their clothes, making them the prize for a bet. When he sought to meet his wife again, he discovered she had been given to another man. The father of the girl said to Samson, "I thought you disliked my daughter, so I gave her to another man. My daughter has a sister, and isn't the sister more beautiful than her older sister? Please take the sister as your wife." Samson replied to them, "Even if I have caused harm to the Philistines, I am not guilty of any wrongdoing." Enraged, Samson caught 300 foxes, tied their tails together, and set Philistine fields ablaze. Due to the intense heat, jackals ran through the fields, resulting in the complete destruction of the crops in the field.
Tensions rose between Samson and the Philistines, leading him to dwell in a cleft of the rock.
But what Samson did troubled his fellow Israelites. People from Judah came to Samson and said, "Don't you know that the Philistines are our rulers? What have you done?" Samson replied, "I have only done to them what they did to me." So the people of Judah bound him and handed him over to the Philistines. When the Philistines attacked Samson while he was bound, he broke free, defeated them, and killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey. Samson said, "With the jawbone of a donkey, I have piled up heaps upon heaps of Philistines. Let's call this place Ramath-Lehi." At that moment, Samson became intensely thirsty and cried out to God, "I'm thirsty and about to die." God opened up a hollow place in the ground and provided water for Samson to drink. In this way, Samson judged Israel for 20 years under Philistine oppression. His incredible strength allowed him to uproot city gates and carry them on his shoulders.
One day, Samson noticed a foreign woman named Delilah and began living with her.
Delilah was a beautiful woman, and Samson fell in love with her at first sight. The Philistine lords, realizing that Delilah was Samson's weakness, persuaded her to inquire about Samson's weakness, offering her a payment of 1,000 pieces of silver. Delilah agreed, and immediately asked Samson about the source of his strength. Samson told her, "If I am bound with 7 fresh, unused bowstrings that have not dried, I will become weak and be like any other man." Delilah bound Samson with the specified bowstrings, attempting to hand him over to the Philistines. However, Samson easily broke the ropes and repelled the Philistines. Delilah asked him again, and Samson replied, "If they tie me securely with new ropes that have never been used in work, I will become weak and be like any other man." While Samson slept, Delilah tied him with the new ropes, woke him up, claiming that the Philistines were attacking. But Samson once again tore the ropes and drove away the Philistines. Having been deceived twice, Delilah pleaded with Samson, "You have deceived me with lies. Please tell me how your strength can be captured."
When Delilah asks Samson for the 3rd time, he gives a risky answer, indicating that he was gradually succumbing to Delilah's seduction.
This time, Samson mentioned his hair, saying, "If you weave the 7 locks of my hair into the fabric on the loom and fasten it with the pin of the loom, I will become weak and be like any other man." Again, while Samson was asleep, Delilah followed his instructions, but he easily tore out the pin and repelled the enemies. Delilah accused him, saying, "You keep lying, and you don't love me. You deceived me 3 times." Every day, Delilah repeated the same question, and Samson, unable to tell the truth, felt deeply saddened.
Finally, Samson reveals his secret.
Samson, weak when it came to women, finally revealed the truth, saying, "I have never had a razor come upon my head, for I have been a Nazirite to God from my mother's womb. If my hair is cut off, then my strength will leave me, and I will become weak like any other man." These words convinced Delilah. The lords also believed the story and brought silver to give to Delilah. While Samson was asleep, Delilah shaved off his hair. Samson, now without his hair, was easily captured, and his eyes were gouged out.
Since Delilah does not appear after this, I assume she took the money and left. Samson seems to be attracted only to the physical appearance of women and doesn't seem interested in their personalities, and so forth.
Samson was captured by the Philistines and led a life of slavery. Every day, he wore bronze leg shackles and ground grain in the prison. However, as years passed, the Philistines forgot how Samson had lost his strength. Gradually, Samson's hair began to grow back, and he started regaining his strength. Over time, the festival of the Philistine god Dagon arrived. Many Philistines gathered in the temple to celebrate. The lords of the Philistines proclaimed, "Dagon has delivered Samson into our hands." As part of the entertainment, they decided to showcase Samson, whom they had captured earlier. Amidst drinking and revelry, Samson was called forth. In the midst of the Philistines' attention, Samson performed a dance. Eventually, Samson stood between the pillars of the temple. He asked a young man who was guiding him, "Let me touch the pillars supporting this temple. I want to lean against them." Samson raised his hands to heaven and called upon the Lord, saying, "God, remember me. Give me strength one more time. I want to take revenge on the Philistines." Samson grasped the pillars and, prepared for death, declared, "Today I will die with the Philistines," and he pulled the pillars down. The temple of Dagon collapsed, falling upon the Philistine lords and the people. Everyone in the temple died along with Samson. The Bible reports that the number of Philistines Samson killed in his death exceeded the number he had killed during his lifetime.
This concludes the story of Samson as told in the book of Judges. Samson's weakness was his attraction to women, whether they were from his own people or foreigners. Thank you for watching until the end. Please consider subscribing to the channel.